Okay, I want all of you to close your eyes. I want you to imagine the opportunity that is filled with your dreams, happiness, and success. You feel accomplished and fulfilled. You see it, you can smell it, you can touch it, but you cannot touch that because you don't have the right access to the opportunity to get there. Now you can open your eyes. Did it feel painful? Yes? So, what I believe is if women entrepreneurs are given the opportunity with the right blueprint and toolkit, they can actually break down the digital divide and create an economic revolution. And I truly believe that. So my name is Chaitra vedullapalli. I am the cloud entrepreneur. I have spent my life's work really understanding access to economic opportunities by leveraging the power of technology. So for me, in my own experience as an entrepreneur, what I care about most is the growth, true growth. And the growth, what I'm looking at is a common language that an entrepreneur as well as others can engage on. And to grow, you really need to have access to talent, access to finance, access to resources, and also the business networks. However, as a female tech entrepreneur, simply getting access is not a simple job. It is extremely difficult. So what I truly believe, if we empower them with the right access and the toolkit, we can really make a big difference. Now, creating access has few components, and you talked about all day long, which is access to growth. And we look at 3 areas. One is access to customer markets. Second is funding and investments. And the third one is human capital. If you get those 3, any company can start growing. Do you agree with me? Yep. And the second one is accelerating them through the resources, education, and also the policy changes. And that's what you saw we were able to make through the proclamation work we did. And the last one is we really need to take action. And the action you need to take is to make sure that you're building a community. And what you saw today is all about community building. And next is making sure that we have partnerships, and we also have is innovation that we are bringing to market. So in the last few years, I had a lot of conversation with a lot of investors, my mentors, and sponsors. And I've also read multiple or thousands of business plans in every facet, in the way, so that I understand what does it take to really accelerate the growth, and what does it take for an investor to invest? And they actually told me the truth, which I'm going to share. Do you want to hear the secret? I know I told you in that morning that I'll tell you that. Okay, so there are 3 things. The secret is if you can work with the cloud hyperscalers. These are big distributors, and you can tap into their distribution. It's a huge growth. Number 2 is having recurring revenue model for your business. If you do not have a recurring revenue model, what happens is it's usually a project-based. You really are not able to provide the service to your customer. And the third one is having a process to win customers consistently. And most of the entrepreneurs do not have a structure to get there. And if you get all those 3, you will have investors running behind you. So as we designed the accelerator for the Women in Cloud, which many of you have gone through, there were 12 of them who were selected, what we focused on is really building with that particular secret in mind, making sure that that particular secret is accessible to each and every entrepreneur who's going through it. And we wanted to make sure that they actually had the growth through the education and also getting them connected to the right place. So what did we do? So we said, let's go create access for the phase 1 of the accelerator, because we really didn't have anything in the market which is working with the cloud hyperscalers. So we said, let's go pilot and figure it out. So what we did was, we went as an entrepreneur, we said let's go work with HP and Microsoft, and let's say, can you guys come and work with us to create an accelerator, and we really understand what does it take. So we really built, it was a cloud-ready education model. The second one is we actually got them connected to the executives. These were all exec sponsors for these entrepreneurs, so they were able to create access to people in the corporate world, because navigating a corporate is very hard, so they actually did. And I want to really give a loud shout out to Gretchen. She was fabulous. We got the entire US sub in the Microsoft, raised their hand, and they basically spent time with the entrepreneurs. Yeah, let's give her a round. And the third thing we also did was ensuring that we have access to customers through warm introduction, and then warm introduction to investors, and then is having the community to come together to help. So as a community, as an accelerator community, what we did, so as an accelerator community, what we did was we met every month, we sat down, we educated, because that education is not easily available. So we really spent and educated. And everyone was like going at a different pace, every company had a different one. So we really started to understand what is the real access we needed to create. But the most fun part was really we created a tribe. Like, I can reach out to all the 12 companies, and they are there to support me, as well as support each other, which was fantastic. I never expected that would happen. But now they are like my own advisors. They give me advice, they give me support, which was fascinating. And the second one is we thought was like, hey, what else can we do? So we really spent a lot of conversation with them to make sure they have access to the customer, which was really, really important. So then we also traveled across the, multiple industry events. So we went to United Nations together, and we presented there, and it was really fantastic, like just to go as a tribe. We went to the HP events, we went to Microsoft events, so we really moved as a tribe. So when you look at what did this create as an accelerator, do you want to see the results? Okay. So we created close to $30 million in cloud opportunities for them. And it only took 6 months. It didn't take a lot. It took 6 months because the tribe came together. Second, we actually did 200 warm introduction. And because everyone wanted to reach to the right person, so we really made sure it was all warm introduction, and we represented in the industry events. It was phenomenal to get through that. So when you think about it, it's important for us to really create an accelerator which really drives value for an entrepreneur. Not just come and do your business plan, but really focus on really driving customer acquisition, creating that recurring revenue, so the investors are chasing you instead of you chasing the investor. That's just my philosophy. So what we are trying to do is going to launch the Accelerator 2.0, which is going to focus on few things. One is access and action. Last year was all about access. We really wanted to tinker with it. So what it means is we want to still give them education, because it's very important. If you're working with enterprise company, it really takes a different kind of mindset to get there. Second, we want to definitely connect them with executives. This morning you saw Gretchen talking about it. I also had the Amazon executives say they want to raise their hands. I had some Google executives. So it's really good. The industry executives are there to come and sponsor. Third is we want to focus on pipeline to conversion, not just show the pipeline. Because I truly believe is when you see economic conversion happen, what happens? We create jobs, right? And we create the real impact. So that's the kind of work we want to do. And the last one is really build channel partnerships with all the companies that they are working, so they really can grow. So who are the brands that are supporting the next phase of the Cloud Accelerator? We only had 3. Now we have is Corant. They are coming in. We have Skycake. They are interested. Ops Agility. They are coming in. And I invite all the other cloud accelerator to consider to really create their own accelerator for their network, because this is the way we can actually create $1 billion in economic access. So what are we doing? We're launching in April 2019. And yes. And all the accelerator participants will be the coaches. How cool is that? And really, I would love each and every one of you who are an entrepreneur here, please look out for that. And as a community, if you know any entrepreneur or want to become an entrepreneur, consider being part of it. So what can you do? If you're an entrepreneur and say, I want to start today, well, there is an ebook that is available, which you can really read and you can go through it. Second, there is also the templates that are available for you, so you learn what are the techniques that they used to really do the pipeline conversion. So that's available. So now I want you guys to hear is the stellar transformation of 4 companies out of 12. And I want you guys to really look at it and see what that transformation looked like. Are you ready for it? Yes. Okay, so the first one is Jill Angelo. She's the CEO and founder of Genève. Her mission is to improve the lives of women in midlife and menopause. She is named as one of the Inc. magazine 2016 most impressive women entrepreneurs. She is the driving force for bringing effective health solutions, information, and resources to women in the most vibrant years of their lives. Let's welcome Jill Angelo.
Hi, thank you. I'm Jill Angelo. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Genève, and we're the first ever online clinic for women in menopause. Now, how many of you have a woman in your life that you care about? Okay, every one of them is going to go through menopause. 1 in 3 experience some pretty life-altering symptoms, and yet only 7% of them receive the treatment that they need. Our healthcare system is failing women for 3 core reasons in this age group. Number 1, we have a shortage of OBGYNs, who are the most educated and experienced practitioners to serve this population and their health needs. Number 2, lack of physician education. General practitioners, there's no aspect of women's menopausal or midlife health in their actual training. So a lot of women end up hearing, you're just gonna have to deal with it, or it's just all in your head. Third, there's a huge fear and misinformation around hormone therapy. And this is probably the therapy where most women can receive treatment for any one of the 34 symptoms that they may experience during this period of life. Our mission is to empower every woman to take control of her health in menopause. This is a big mission. We're disrupting an outdated healthcare system in the way that we're improving access to care for millions of women around the world. We're doing it through our online clinic in 3 ways. Number 1, we're a cloud business that provides telehealth access to practitioners. These are menopause experienced practitioners, OBGYNs and nurse practitioners that women can book appointments with. We're also providing patient monitoring via our proprietary menopause assessment, which is Azure-backed to secure the data. That particular assessment does an intake of the woman's symptoms and then provides her with a health profile of where she's at along this 2 to 10 year journey of her life. In addition, we're providing via that assessment recommended content, providers, products, and other things that she may need to mitigate the symptoms that she's experiencing. And third, we're providing products and education, free education for women in our network, as well as providing them products for the symptoms that they're experiencing. Our approach is working. Year over year, we've had 173% growth in our monthly users. We've amassed a network of 200 menopause practitioners, first publishing on our platform and now taking appointments with women. And finally, we're a community-based platform. We have 12,000 women who have subscribed to our platform to not only get the education they need, but engage, talk to our providers, and purchase products in our network. Women in Cloud has improved our access. We're a direct-to-consumer model coming into the program. We had a strong technology underpinning, but I didn't really understand how we get that recurring revenue engine going. And so one aspect of the program is it gave us access to two particular potential B2B customers. Health systems, in terms of Genève being the pre- and post-patient engagement application for the women they're serving, and two, employers, as part of improving their health and wellness benefits for women in this age group. Women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s make up 20% of our workforce in the US today. And yet workplace workplace benefit programs provide very little for women in this space. Our mission is to empower the lives and empower women to take control of their health during this period of life. Now, you probably didn't think you'd hear about menopause at a tech conference. You heard about fertility this morning in Ty Lee's session. Women's healthcare innovation is slowly catching up with where we're working on women's equality issues all up. So my one call to action, take control of your health, no matter where you're at in your cycle of life. And if you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, come check out Genève.com. Thanks.
Jill, thank you. Are you guys going to take the next assessment? Yes? I'm going to take that too because I do need it. Okay, the second person you get to meet is Sarah Blankinship. Absolutely phenomenal entrepreneur. She's a thought leader and as well as a technologist. She passionately believes in accelerating women to executive leadership roles and also looks forward to disrupting as good as she gets and the right sciences to aim to become Patch the Planet. I'm so excited to bring Sarah Blankinship to talk about right sciences.
Thank you, Chaitra. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for staying this late in the day. I promise to try and make this lightning fast, interesting. We're just talking about some nerdy innovations with my nerdy friends here in the room, so welcome. First, a couple of quick questions for you to just get that blood pumping again. Show of hands, who here has experienced the kind of pain or anxiety that disrupted the kind of life you wanted to live? I know I have. And second, this is a trickier one. Who here has ever heard of a transdermal patch? A few less. So I learned a lot about the intersection of these two things and about these two areas when my mom had a massive stroke. And she spent about a quarter in rehab and the hospital. Sorry, I don't know how to use this clicker, clearly. Let's get this off myself. And she went from a quarter in rehab in the hospital to a solution in front of her that was opioids upon opioids upon opioids. Really, there was nothing for her. So I went looking for a plant-based wellness solution for her, for a pain reliever that was not made out of opioids. And when I couldn't find one that was clean enough to put on her body, I ended up making her a transdermal patch. And this is what it looks like, right? That's the story of every great company, right, is solving a personal problem and turning it into a company. So this is a transdermal patch. It's a 2x2 gloriously simple, elegant square that has 20 milligrams of CBD, which will quickly be going into my body here in a second. I'm gonna just pop this on for you just to demonstrate how it goes. So I had a little bit of neck pain when I woke up this morning, and by the time these lightning talks are over, I have patches. Yeah. Don't worry, ladies, I have more. By the time these are over, then my neck pain will be gone, right? And so we know exactly what powers our plants. Interestingly, I just heard one of our Kentucky farmers on NPR who farms the hemp that goes into these patches. We know exactly what powers our plants. And as an entrepreneur, one of the hardest challenges we all face is getting that product into the hands of decision makers. So if we're a widget company, if I make a patch that helps with a problem like pain, what does the cloud have to do with my business? Why do I care about it, right? And I care about it because the data that comes with the cloud, the data where the decision makers are, will help you sell the widgets that you're making, right? So let me give you a real example of how Right Sciences, what we did with this accelerator was we shipped them a name of about 20 customers that we wanted to meet with, real customers. I just looked them up, cross-referenced biggest customers I could find in wellness, people that seemed values aligned, and I sent this into our team here at the Accelerator. And we did a quick survey. Hey, show of hands, health networks, who's interested in saving money on some of the opioid spend, And those people that said yes, we went and talked to them. And we were able to find several health networks that had actual goals to reduce their opioid spend per category, and we were able to show them what their comparable spend would be if they used a plant-based solution, right? Oh, and hey, I actually have one if you want to try it, right? You can also buy this and look at your data. Look, you'll save money for your shareholders and your customers if you think about this different solution, right? So that's what we're doing in the cloud. We're bringing it from some distant place far away into your organization. Guys, it's not a far off place. It's here with us today. It will help you achieve your organizational goals like patching the planet. And if you guys want to help us patch the planet or join us on our journey, make sure and follow us at Right Sciences, and I'm happy to pass a patch out to anybody that needs one. And what I really want you to take from today, your action item, is shift your perspective of where you think the cloud is. It's not out there. It's a capability. It can be snapped onto your organization. It can be rocket fuel. So use the cloud and let that bring you into the place where that will up-level your thinking from a data company into the cloud company. Because decision makers plus data plus the cloud brings purchase orders. And that's what we all need.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. You were phenomenal. I do use her patch, and I've stopped using Aleve and Tylenol, and I love these patches. Okay, so if you really want to use plant-based, you will love it. Anyway, I'm actually doing an endorsement. Okay, the next person is Mary Heather Lanes. She's a passionate leader, marketeer, technologist, and she is a great mother. She founded Automaton in 2016 and is building the next great testing and automation tool set for the SaaS economy. She has 3 children who uses their brilliance for evil as often as good, and is married, who does more of his share. So I am so excited to invite Mary Heather Lanes to talk about Automaton.
Thank you so much. Guys, I don't think y'all can understand how much Chaitra and Karen and everyone have done for our businesses, so this is amazing. And it's a patch. I got nerves. All right. So I'm MH Lyons. I'm with Automaton. Sitting here last year at Women in Cloud, I was actually a little different than most of the other members because I had a product I wanted to build, and it was perfect for the cloud. It was about supporting the cloud, but I didn't have the confidence that I was the person to build it or take it to market. So the Accelerator wound up being something for me that really helped me get past that, because we all have heard all day long why their odds are stacked against us. There are so many reasons why our businesses won't succeed. And my business is one of those that has to be a scale business. It's going to have to take venture capital funding. So you've heard those horrible numbers. It's all terrifying. But I was really lucky that I found Women in Cloud, and they were able to kind of help me get past that. And not to mention I was running around with a breast pump while we were doing all these first sessions. So Women in Cloud really helped Automaton. I'll just go through that real quick before I show you my amazing new product. Women in Cloud really helped us in a lot of ways. One of the biggest ones, as Chaitra mentioned, was access. Like, I can't tell you how many of the people they've introduced us to and who mentored us We got to go to the Build conference and meet a lot of the other recently invested funds, and I realized that I am just as capable and amazing, and our product's way better, and gonna be able to take it to market. One of the other things they really helped us with, though, was the co-selling motion. And it was something that I haven't seen in any of the other accelerators that I've seen. And it helped us build our thought about going to market. So it helped us decide how we were going to partner and go to market and co-sell, not just with Microsoft, but we've done so with Adobe and Salesloft and a lot of other incredible companies. All right, because of all of that, I'm really excited to introduce y'all to Automaton today. If I can figure out the clicker. There we go. So Automaton, we've heard about the cloud and how it can make your business, but there's implications of that that aren't necessarily obvious. Because of the cloud, about 51% of IT and technology decisions are being made by business users, not by engineers. And about 30% of those engineering and technology purchases are actually being managed completely independently of any IT support. But that means that those business leaders don't have access to the tools like SDETs or quality or monitoring or regression testing that they need. And so we've all experienced the implications of that, especially in the marketing arena, right? Like you've all filled out a form and no one's called you back. Or we've all gotten some wacky email from someone we'd registered with, and they're like advertising something that was more designed for our grandfathers than ourselves or our children. So these marketing fails are terrible for companies. They're a really nasty user experience, and they're kind of annoying for all of us in the room as well. So that's why we built Automatest. So Automatest is an automated testing platform that a business user can use. All of the other testing platforms require some level of coding or sophistication to be able to use them. So these are for the marketers or the advertisers where they can launch their campaigns and then test them themselves. You can do things like filling out forms and testing to make sure those forms are still working. And then months and months later, you'll get a notification that, yes, that test is still running, your form is still performing as expected. So it's not just when you filled out a form and the sales guy actually never calls you back. It's not that he hasn't called you back, it's that there were 91 tools, and one of those tools in between your form fill and the sales guy broke, and no one knew about it. It's still running and showing you how amazing it is. So it's a simple automated tool set. All right, so we are very excited to introduce y'all to Automatest today. You're the first to see it. We launched it in private beta last year. We had a couple of customers. Subsequently, after that, we raised our first institutional round of funding, which was exciting for us. And then we are just now launching our public beta. So it wouldn't have been possible, literally, without Chaitra, Karen, Women in Cloud, and everyone, including our Lindsay Zwart, who was working with us. Azure was amazing in helping us get to market this quickly. And my team. Yay, my team.
Perfect. Thank you. There you go. I actually saw the first hand demo. I was like, oh my God, as a marketeer, oof, that's amazing. Okay, so the last presentation is by Kristen Miller. She's the co-founder and CEO of Stylize. As an entrepreneur who has founded 4 companies in the home improvement and home decor industry. Her mission is to provide a platform for retailers and customers that is transformative in how they create, match, and personalize design and inspiration in products. I'm so excited to invite Kristen Miller to talk about Stylize.
Thank you, Chaitra. What a privilege it is to be here with all of you today. And here's some real talk. So I'm 5 weeks post baby number 2. I'm in the middle, thank you. I am in the middle of a stay of indeterminate length at the day spa known as Seattle Children's Hospital with our little guy who has a serious heart defect. And so as I was kind of thinking about what I would share today, I will tell you that I was 2 parts nervous about speaking coherently in a very sleep-deprived, kind of strung-out fog, and 1 part nervous about what I was going to wear. And all you mamas out there, you know what I'm talking about. So thank you for extending your energy to me and your grace to me as I sort of have to half read the story of myself and Stylize to you. So thank you. Let's see if I can figure the clicker out. So the genesis of Stylize started with a dose of healthy curiosity. My co-founder, Lisa Peroni, and I had a hypothesis that we could add value to the retail landscape by providing personal designer and stylist experiences at scale through the cloud. Now, before we wrote a line of code or raised a penny, we actually spoke to over 80 home decor and apparel retailers to understand their challenges, and we heard the same thing over and over. So what we heard is that they were all seeking to transform their businesses and figure out how they could do in the digital space what they do so well in the physical space. So how they could tell stories through product vignettes, how they could connect customers with products the way that a good stylist or a designer would do. And so this learning posed a fascinating challenge for Lisa and I, which was essentially, can we code the brain of a designer? And being the eternally optimistic entrepreneurs that we are, we said, challenge accepted. And here we are. So I'm a 4-time founder. Lisa is an interior designer by trade. And at that point, we decided that we were going to do this thing. And so we raised money from an incredible group of angel investors. We hired an amazing team, which include a female CTO. And what we went to market with was an amazing software as a service platform that we know today. If I can get my clicker, there we go. Software as a service platform that we know today as Stylize. And what our platform does is it enables retailers in the home decor and apparel spaces to deliver these experiences to their customers at scale. And today, we work with some of the leading retailers in both of these spaces. So we're very excited about that. And I don't know why I can't. Oops, I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so we've made, oops, bear with me. So Women in Cloud has been a very powerful part of this journey for us over the past year. One of the most exciting learnings for us has been the concept of amplification. So how do we take our product, our service, our platform, and actually amplify it through a channel, through other companies that can get us access to partners that can increase our sales and expedite our sales cycle. So the demo that we'll be running, thank you for helping me with that. The demo that we'll be running is an example of a cloud-based collaboration with one of these ecosystem partners, which is an international company who's the leader in AI sales assistants. We recently launched this partnership at the National Retail Federation show and are going to market internationally with a joint digital designer and stylist experience that's built upon our platform. This year, we anticipate that over 30% of our revenue will come from these ecosystem partnerships, and that is all due to this experience with Women in Cloud. Yeah, it's exciting. And Chaitra. Chaitra's buzzword is access, and she's right, it's all about that. So we've made a lot of progress this past year, but the best is absolutely yet to come. Lisa and I often look at each other and we say, why aren't we just selling t-shirts? Because this is so hard. But the reality is, it's often these really hard things, these big challenges that are so worth doing and that define our lives. Cloud technology enables us to build and scale businesses faster than ever before. And this community, this accelerator, and this movement will provide you with the access that you need to really take flight. So we often talk at Stylize about building and flying the airplane at the same time. It's literally a daily conversation. You can't soar unless you first take flight. So embrace this community. Thank you for your time and good luck with everything that you will do as a result of this time today.
Thank you, Kristen.